Imagine this. You're standing in an airport security line. You've already been there for 2 hours, maybe even 3. Your flight is boarding in just 40 minutes, but the line hasn't moved in the last 15. Around you, frustration is building. Some people are starting to panic. A mother nearby is in tears because she's already missed her flight with her 2 kids. And then someone next to you says something that completely stops you. A TSA agent at the front just walked off the job. In the middle of the shift, just left. This is not a movie scene. This is happening right now, today, March 2026, at airports across the United States. And if you think this is only about long lines and missed flights, you need to understand something. What's happening right now is much bigger than that. This situation directly impacts your visa, your green card, your immigration case, and even your ability to enter or leave the country. Because the government agency responsible for all of this has been shut down for 33 days. Let me repeat that. The Department of Homeland Security, the agency that oversees TSA, CBP, ICE, USCIS, the Coast Guard, FEMA, and even the Secret Service, has been shut down since February 14th, 2026. That's 33 days and counting. There's no agreement yet. The Senate has voted 4 separate times, and all 4 attempts have failed. And the most important part? Nobody is clearly explaining what this actually means for you. So let me break it down, because this information could protect your travel plans, your immigration case, and possibly even your visa. Let's go back to where this started. On January 24th, 2026, Customs and Border Protection agents killed a man named Alex Prey. This incident quickly became national news. In response, Senate Democrats announced they would no longer support funding for DHS unless major immigration enforcement reforms were passed. They introduced 11 specific demands. These included requiring judicial warrants before agents enter private property, mandatory body cameras for all CBP and ICE officers, banning masks for agents and requiring standardized uniforms, restricting raids near schools, hospitals, churches, and polling places, ensuring immediate access to legal representation for detained individuals, and giving local governments authority to investigate federal agents. Republicans pushed back, calling these demands excessive and warning they could create unnecessary complications and safety risks for officers. However, they did say a compromise was possible. But that compromise never happened. The first shutdown lasted 4 days, from January 31st to February 3rd. That shutdown affected about half of the federal government. Congress managed to pass a temporary deal that funded everything except DHS for 2 additional weeks. Those 2 weeks ended on February 13th. Negotiations failed again. Lawmakers left Washington. And at 12:01 a.m. on February 14th, DHS officially shut down. And it has remained shut down ever since. Now let's talk about how this directly affects you. Starting with TSA. Since the shutdown began, 366 TSA officers have quit their jobs. That's not a small number. And replacing each officer takes 4 to 6 months because of the training and certification required. At the same time, the number of officers calling out of work has doubled nationwide. At Houston Hobby Airport on March 14th, 55% of TSA staff didn't show up, more than half. In cities like New Orleans and Atlanta, call-out rates hit 30% or higher on March 15th and 16th. The result? Security lines stretching up to 3 hours at some airports. Travelers are now being told to arrive 3 to 4 hours early for domestic flights. And if you miss your flight because of these delays, airlines are not responsible. And the situation could get worse. A senior TSA official recently stated that smaller airports may have to shut down completely if staffing levels drop further. Think about that for a second. If your travel plan includes a small regional airport, it might not even be operating. If your city depends on one small airport, you could lose access to air travel entirely. Now let's talk about the people working behind the scenes. About 260,000 employees work under DHS. Nearly 90% of them are still working without pay. Over 100,000 employees missed their full paycheck on March 14th. TSA workers, who already earn relatively low salaries, are now facing financial stress. This is the third time in just 6 months that their pay has been disrupted. In some cities, airports have even started accepting donations for TSA workers. Let that sink in. Now, if you are a frequent traveler, this next part is important. Global Entry and TSA PreCheck were both suspended on February 22nd. TSA PreCheck was restored quickly after backlash, but Global Entry remained inactive for 17 days before being restored on March 11th. Even now, there's no guarantee it won't be suspended again. If you're planning to enroll, expect delays. Now let's talk about immigration. This is the part that matters most for visa holders, green card applicants, and immigrants. The good news is that USCIS is mostly funded by application fees. That means most immigration cases are still being processed. If you have a pending H-1B, green card, naturalization, or work permit case, it is still moving forward. But not everything is unaffected. PERM labor certifications may face delays because they involve the Department of Labor. The EB-4 Religious Worker Program expired on January 30th because it wasn't renewed during the shutdown. Immigration courts are rescheduling hearings in some cases, and systems like E-Verify could be at risk if the shutdown continues. On top of that, FEMA has stopped non-essential operations. The Coast Guard is working under limited conditions. Secret Service hiring has been paused. This is a system under pressure. Now here's what you should do right now. Arrive at the airport at least 4 hours early. For international flights, make it 5. Check whether your airport uses private security instead of TSA. Some airports do, and they are less affected. Renew your Global Entry or TSA PreCheck before it expires. Monitor your immigration case daily. Don't assume timelines are unchanged. And always carry your immigration documents with you when traveling. Your visa, I-94, work permit, green card, approval notices, keep everything accessible. Now there's something else you need to understand. The human side of this situation. The TSA agents you see at the airport right now haven't been paid in weeks. Some are struggling financially. Some are stressed. Some are considering leaving their jobs. This is not the time to argue, complain, or act impatient. Be respectful. Be calm. Have your documents ready, and if you are an immigrant, be extra careful. Enforcement agencies like CBP and ICE are still active. They are still enforcing immigration laws. The shutdown hasn't stopped enforcement. It has only weakened the system around it. Now the big question, when will this end? The truth is, nobody knows. The Senate has already failed 4 times to pass a funding bill. The situation remains stuck between political demands and disagreements. There was talk of a possible deal on March 17th, but nothing concrete has happened. Based on current conditions, this situation could continue through the end of March, possibly longer. If it extends into April, we are entering completely unpredictable territory. So here's the bottom line. Airports are under stress. Immigration systems are strained. Workers are unpaid, and the situation is unstable. You need to protect yourself. Plan ahead. Stay informed, be patient, and don't assume things are running normally, because right now, they are not. This is Olivia from the USA Guide, and I'm here to make sure you stay informed and never get caught off guard. Make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications, and stay connected. When something changes, you'll hear it here first. I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe.